race. The boat's already at the start for the lineup for the men's fours, and it's Romania on the far side. The two crews that are favoured here, in particular from the semis, Czech Republic and Australia, and Britain, as you'll see, only in lane 4. Lane number 2, Serbia, and lane number 3, the Czech crew, 6:07:34 in their semi-final. Wouldn't read too much into that. The Australians, though, on the other hand, 6:00.84, with Joshua Dunkley-Smith in the stroke seat there for Australia. Drew Ginn, James Chapman, William Lockwood, formidable quartet. But right next to them, another outstanding team. Alex Gregory in the bow, coming down Pete Reed, Tom James, Andrew Triggs-Hodge. And in fact, that's a rearranged crew. I apologise for that. It's Pete Reed who's switched with Alex Gregory. And then in lane number 6, not to be dismissed, Belarus, who were 4th in Lucerne and look to be an improving crew. So you're looking at the men who've won the first 2 World Cup regattas.
And interestingly enough, you mentioned GB in lane number 5. The reason is they lost to Australia in the semi-finals, and that was a big blow to Great Britain's aspirations of retaining that Olympic title they won in Beijing in 2008. And Australia doesn't have the sprinting capabilities of GB, but their technique is so much better than that of Andy Triggs-Hodge, Tom James, Pete Reed, and Alex Gregory.
So technique versus power.
That pretty much summarizes the difference between Australia and GB. And if Great Britain wants to win that gold medal, they need to improve technically in the next 5 weeks. Otherwise, they won't be able to beat a good, solid rowing crew from Australia.
So on the far side, you've got Romania furthest away, then Serbia, who are 2 from the top of your picture. This is Great Britain again, the blonde hair of Andrew Triggs-Hodge facing you, coached by Jürgen Grobler. And you can see they're now finding their rhythm, the British. But it is a fast start from the Romanians on the far side, taking no respect, just going really like a rocket out of the start. But it's not holding together terribly well.
No, they did this before, and then the final 500 meters, they just died down. So I'm not expecting Romania to actually be in the front for the rest of the race.
Coming to the end of the first 500 metres, and perhaps not what you would expect, Romania, Australia, Belarus, Great Britain, but you can see they're pretty tight, the field, certainly the first 5 crews. Serbia 2.46 off the pace.
Great Britain obviously aware of the fact that they need to be in front at this stage of the race in order to keep off the Australians, keep them away from moving away in the second and the third 500 metres of this race.
Yeah, well, remember what happened in Beijing. It was, last gasp stuff by the British to haul themselves into gold medals. And Australia now. And Joshua Dunkley-Smith, and then Drew Ginn, James Chapman. It's a formidable quartet there, and the British have not got away. The Romanians are still powering on the far side. And the British have settled in this second quarter.
And Australia not looking that impressive. They look a little bit off when compared to the semi-final, where they were just really good, solid rowing. And right now they look a little bit off, as if their rhythm is not really coming together. Right now, just asking for a little bit more and getting that, because Australia now moving in the lead, surpassing Great Britain, and as you can see on the far side, Romania dying down after that first burst in the first part of the race.
This is going to be a mighty important third quarter coming up, and it's Australia edging ahead of Great Britain, and those 2 crews beginning to go away, subsiding Romania. Belarus on the near side in lane 6. Certainly look for them to move into 3rd place, I would think, in this company.
let's not forget, in 2008, it was the Dutch men's four who won the final World Cup of the season. Eventually, they were nowhere to be seen in Beijing, and Great Britain won the title. So nothing is lost if Great Britain loses here. If Australia wins this race, nothing is lost. There's still 5 more weeks to come, but still, I mean, Great Britain is a crew that wants to win every single race that they start in, and right now they're trailing by about a canvas behind, and Australia leading.
So Romania over on the far side, and now it's Andrew Triggs-Hodge versus Joshua Dunkley-Smith. And at the moment, Australia, as you can see there from the little chart there, there's very little to choose between them. But Belarus on the near side, they're not in your picture, but they are sort of picking up 3rd place at the moment. And Australia still with that canvas, very steady. Great Britain, is this going to be the big power sprint in the last 500 metres? And if it is, they can't afford to give away any more now. Australia, nicely together.
Just smooth rowing, smooth rowing. You can see the rowing of Great Britain is slightly more frantic. They're trying to raise the rate, but they're not really capable of doing that in sync with each other.
500 metres to go. And it's Australia by getting on for a half a length. It's a little bit more than a canvas. Belarus, you can see, are chasing the British. They're up into 3rd place. Everybody else over on that far side, Romania, Serbia, Czech Republic, they've never really got into this at all in the race. Well, Romania did, but then they faded, but that was predictable. And now you can see the relative boat speeds there. Australia just that little bit more effective, getting a little bit more out of it, and Belarus with an overlap on Great Britain.
This is dangerous stuff for Great Britain. On the one side, you can say that they have the better final sprint, so they can just take that half boat length and just surpass or overtake the Australians, but Belarus is very close.
And this will do absolutely nothing for British confidence if they get done here by the Australians. Whichever way this goes, even if the British can come through and win this with a big sprint, they're still going to be mighty concerned when they come off the water. And here we go. This is the final phase now, and Australia know that they're going to be asked a question, and also Belarus on the near side here. They must think that they can go to London with a shout of a medal, but it's Great Britain cutting into that now. It's very close, but they're moving now, Great Britain on Australia, cutting back the deficit all the time, but Australia got first march. Australian four.
Yep, exactly.
With an advantage over Great Britain. They did them in the semis, and they've done them in the finals. And the winners of the 2 previous World Cup and the Olympic champions from Beijing have to give best to Australia. Belarus in 3rd place, and then in 4th it was Serbia across the line, and then coming home after that Romania and the Czech Republic. But